Coming up on today's show, Elon Musk says the Tesla pickup will get its reveal later this year and will have a distinct cyberpunk feel. Toyota says it will bring 10 new electric cars to market by 2025, and specs of the next generation Renault ZOE are leaked a week ahead of its official reveal. These stories and more coming next. I'm back in the studio and ready to bring you the latest news in the world of cleaner, greener, safer and smarter transportation. Thanks to everyone who took the time out to talk to me and the team at Fully Charged Live last week in the UK. It was great to meet all of you, and sorry to those I missed or didn't have time to chat to. I'm ready for next year though. Just 2 weeks after we reported that it was a thing, the marriage between Fiat Chrysler and Renault looks like it won't happen. While Nissan, Renault's current alliance partner and mutual shareholder, initially supported the merger with FCA, it reportedly withdrew its support recently. At the same time, a French union which voted against the deal caused some headaches for all parties. This deal would have given FCA a much-needed leg up in the plug-in and autonomous vehicle segments. Now it's going to have to find an alternative. Tesla held its annual shareholder meeting this week, and at it, we got treated to plenty of snippets from Tesla CEO Elon Musk. We heard that the Model 3 and Model Y will get a fully vegan interior next year, that Tesla is on track to break its sales and delivery records this quarter, and that Tesla is considering a human driver competitor to Lyft and Uber before an autopilot version launches. At the same time, Musk also promised a 400-mile Tesla was on the way, Tesla's insurance products were also on the way, that the start of Tesla's semi-production will be pushed back to next year, and that the Tesla pickup would have a distinct cyberpunk design that would make it look like something out of a sci-fi movie. Cyberpunk. Nice. After years of focusing on hydrogen fuel cell electric cars and saying some not so nice things about battery electric ones, Toyota has announced a roadmap to develop and popularise its own battery electric cars. The plan, which Toyota says is because EVs are being adopted at a far faster rate than it had predicted, includes a new battery electric fleet that it says will launch globally by 2025. These include 2 crossovers, a wagon, a car, and a couple of boxy city-based vehicles. The vehicles will hit the road 5 years earlier than Toyota originally planned. Volkswagen has announced a new €900 million investment in Swedish battery specialist Northvolt, continuing its recent, seemingly never-ending investment program in electric vehicles. The investment will see Volkswagen gain a 20% shareholding in Northvolt, and it will result in a 50-50 joint venture to build a 16 gigawatt-hour battery cell facility somewhere in Europe. Details are still to be finalised, but it's hoped the facility will be located in Lower Saxony, Germany, where Volkswagen already has production facilities. As one of Europe's most popular electric cars, the Renault ZOE is starting to look a little long in the tooth. Sure, it's had a steady set of gradual improvements over the years to its motor and powertrain components, as well as a battery pack upgrade. But next week, its successor, the all-new 2020 Renault ZOE, will be revealed. According to specs and photos leaked this week, it will come with a range of up to 400 kilometres, adopt 100 kilowatt CCS quick charging, and get all of the other bits and bobs that you'd expect from a modern electric car. We'll know full specs for sure next week. Rivian has confirmed that it intends to send old, used battery packs from more than 10 years of R&D to Puerto Rico, where they will get a new life in solar energy storage microgrid systems from 2020 onwards. Since the battery packs are from development vehicles, they can't be sold privately, which means sending them to Puerto Rico is a really good idea. And since the unincorporated territory has been pretty much ignored by the current US government since the devastating hurricanes 20 months ago, it's a very commendable move as well. The state of California, or rather its Air Resource Board, is considering a new piece of legislation which could put an end to closed access, membership-only charging stations. The proposed requirements will allow membership programs but will require operators make it possible to charge at any charging station with just a credit card or a smartphone. It will also require an adoption of an interoperable billing standard statewide and clear communication on electricity pricing. A vote on the proposal is expected soon. After receiving more than 31,000 pre-orders, Honda has finally released specs for its upcoming Honda E electric city car. While it's a forbidden fruit and only going to be available in Europe, Honda's rear-wheel drive runabout will feature a 35.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack and a range of more than 200 kilometers per charge. CCS quick charging will be standard, and the pack itself will be liquid-cooled. As a compact city car, that spec list isn't half bad. Using a bicycle rather than a car is not only better for your health and the planet, but it turns out it's better for the city you live in as well. That's according to a new study from the University of Colorado, Denver, and the University of New Mexico. Examining 12 cities in the US with populations larger than 400,000 people, the study discovered that cities with higher numbers of cyclists and dedicated cycle lanes that were regularly used, are safer for all road users, reducing accidents overall compared to cities without large cycling populations. So it's time to get on that bike. And now it's time for short shorts. During this week's shareholder meeting, Elon Musk says that Tesla needs a larger battery supply before any of its future models can make it to market. One way to do this is to build more gigafactories, but Musk also hinted that Tesla is considering establishing its own mining division. Toyota is currently applying some pretty crazy discounts on its Mirai hydrogen fuel cell sedan in California. It's giving dealers $15,000 per Mirai sold, slashing the effective cost of the Mirai by $27,000, assuming the dealer plays ball. Electrify America and ChargePoint have announced a roaming agreement designed to make it easier for customers to use both charging networks. Users will be able to use either company's login to access either charging station, with no additional fees incurred. Volkswagen dropped its connection with autonomous car company Aurora Tech this week, but it was quickly replaced by Fiat Chrysler, which is looking to use the company to give autonomous capabilities to some of its vehicles. Hyundai has also just sent some more investment Aurora Tech's way. Ford may be on the electric car train at last, but former CEO Mark Field warned this week that he feels the auto industry is heading for, quote, a reckoning on electric vehicles. He claims the EV segment won't grow as quickly as his now former colleagues predict it will. ChargePoint has applied for a court rehearing in a 2-year-long patent lawsuit it recently lost in the appeals court. It claims it has a patent giving it exclusive rights to networked electric vehicle charging stations that its competitors shouldn't have. So far, the courts disagree. Despite saying it's expanding its existing headcount, Tesla quietly let go of some of its service centre staff this week. Details are sketchy, but it's thought that the layoffs are part of Tesla's push to make service booking only available online or via its smartphone app. Nevs, the Chinese firm which plans to relaunch Saab as an electric brand, acquired British in-wheel motor manufacturer Protean this week. It's not clear what the plan is, but if I had to guess, it's likely that we'll see in-wheel motors in future Nevs vehicles. Audi has issued a recall for its e-tron SUV after it was discovered a grommet on the battery pack case may not properly seal and thus let moisture in. If left unaddressed, there's potential for excess moisture building up, which could eventually lead to a short circuit. Keeping with recalls, Honda has recalled the Clarity fuel cell sedan over a faulty cooling system pump which was not properly treated for corrosion. If it fails, it could lead to a part failure and vehicle shutdown. The pull-out kitchen that Rivian debuted a few weeks back at the Overland show is now going to make it onto the official Rivian R1T options list. Reaction was so good to the pull-out kitchen that Rivian has decided to offer it, but the price for that feature is currently unknown. The UK has officially confirmed it wants to have a net zero emissions target by 2050, making it the first major economy in the world to set such a target. Critics say that the target is commendable, but it's too late and needs to be 2040 or earlier to make an impact to the world's climate. Larger workload, employee layoffs, and tough work conditions have forced Tesla down the charts in several workplace scoring lists, including ones by Glassdoor and LinkedIn. Musk's approval rating as CEO has also dropped among employees. Henrik Fisker has taken to Facebook to tease a single photograph of the all-electric SUV his company will unveil in December this year. With a promised MSRP of under $40,000, it reminds me a little bit of a larger BMW i3 or a Chevy Bolt. Byton has shared images of the inside of its production version for the M-Byte SUV. Due to go on sale in China later this year, the all-electric luxury SUV retains that massive side-to-side touchscreen display of the concept car, as well as that crazy wheel-inserted screen. BMW has released a quartet of extremely abstract photographs for the upcoming Vision M Next, a fully autonomous concept car that's due to be revealed next week. While the photos tell us very little, the M Next is expected to preview a replacement for the i8. Rapid charging specialist StoreDot, which has been promising a way to rapid charge electric cars in impossibly quick times, has showcased how its technology can recharge an electric scooter's battery pack with 70 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes. StoreDot is now owned by BP. And those are your shorts. There will be more next week. Lilium, one of several European countries trying to bring electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft to commercial reality, has announced it's chosen London as the headquarters for its new software engineering development teams. Lilium says it will create hundreds of software engineering jobs across its various departments. Its Lilium Jet seats 5, and the company hopes it will be the first to market with a fully autonomous air taxi service for major cities. And finally, while most electric VTOL craft, including the Lilium Jet, are designed for air taxi services, there's also a market, a small one, for personal eVTOL craft. But just like the flying cars before it, they're generally not so affordable. This week, a new personal eVTOL craft was announced in the form of the Aska from Next Future Transport, or NFT. It's actually a hybrid, using electric motors to lift itself off the ground, but then relying on an internal combustion engine to provide some power for road and air travel. So far, only a scale model exists, but by next year a prototype is expected to fly. The cost? Just 200 grand. Ouch. And on that note, it's the end of this week's show. Don't forget to like, comment and share, bash the notification bell and support us with Ko-fi, Patreon or by buying something from our merch store. Thanks one more time to the people we met at Fully Charged Live. We have a massive backlog of videos and reviews to edit, so I hope you'll bear with us as we comb through all of our footage. In the meantime, I'll be back very soon, so don't forget to be better, smarter, and kinder to one another. As always, keep evolving.